That doesn't work. So that's it. These wheels control the water level. That doesn't work. Gate should shut properly now. That doesn't work. I have this thirst for blood. I cannot enter.
These maggots have escaped the wrath of Ascalon for too long. It is time to purge the sewers of their filth.
You again! The one they call the sewer dog.
Hold your tongue, newborn, or I'll crush you like a maggot.
You've let the beast consume you.
Finally! A touch of lucidity. So learn to respect the laws of...
Whence you fucking slaughtered you skulls for singing your name?
Slow as a snail! Power you cannot comprehend! I shall tear you apart and spill my blood to the pissing wells! Your blood is now mine. Return to your apothecary and needles. Foolish Ekon!
The poor creature is bleeding to death. He cannot be far. How could he have made it this far? There's blood everywhere.
Safe we are, still. Drink now.
Bless you, Bridget.
This isn't the blood of a vampire, but it will quench your thirst. This is our domain, not yours. You've been warned.
Wait, I saved you from this creature. That must count for something.
Thank you. Now go. Go back to the streets and houses. There is no love lost between us, Vampire. But thank you.
Sean Hampton sent me here. I believe he wanted me to find you. Who are you?
If you must know, they call me Old Bridget. And this shelter is where we live.
I'm Jonathan Reed. I'm a newborn Ekon. I'm afraid I'm not sure what's going on.
I shall not bend a knee, young Ekon, but I sense your pain. Ask, and I will afford you my attention.
Why was that creature after you?
Fergal is the blunt instrument of the Ascalon Club. His masters would see us dead or turned into slaves if they had their way.
What the hell was that thing? He wasn't an Ekon or a Scow.
They are known as Volkod, an ancient offshoot of immortals. Blood drives them, enrages them.
What of this Ascalon Club?
Vampire society's elite in the Empire. They make the rules and enforce their judgment upon us whom they see as lessers.
So was it you that Sean Hampton sent me to find?
Perhaps. The sad saint was always kind to us. He must trust you if he revealed our location.
He was turned and is now a skull. I'm not sure he can be trusted anymore.
And why is that? Because he's a skull, he shouldn't be trusted. Who are you to judge?
Sean killed a patient of mine. And that's just one of the murders he's being hunted for.
If you refer to Harriet, she is now among us and under our protection.
Harriet Jones is alive. That's it. That's the proof Sean wanted me to find. I must talk to her.
No. Harriet is not alive. But you can speak to her. I must warn you. She is fragile and may not receive you warmly.
I don't understand.
She is filled with bile and hate. Her mind is sharp as a tack, but her body is so weak. I've never seen its like before. She is resting in a room on the far right of this hideout.
Thank you. I will bear that in mind.
We're at your mercy. Will you end us? We're at your mercy. Will you end us? Your place is not here.
Hello, Harriet. Do you recognize me?
Yes, you were from the Pembroke Hospital. The young doctor. So full of secrets.
I've so many questions I need to ask you, Harriet. If you would.
I love questions. As for the answers, you may not like them.
How do you feel?
I can't see. I can't move. My body's burning. I feel as if I'm dying over and over again.
Have you tried to eat or drink something?
People here tried to feed me, but I'm just not hungry. I don't have the strength.
Does the pain ever stop?
It is not pain I feel. It's like I can't stop feeling every inch of my body. But at the same time, each muscle and bone is the wrong place.
Your room, the blood. What brought you to fake your death in such a gruesome fashion?
To see if I would be mourned.
Why flee with Sean Hampton?
It's always a pleasure to see a saint fall to sin. But the coward still won't kill.
Do you take pleasure in causing so much pain and sorrow?
Nobody gave a damn about me. Not a tear shed. Poor Harriet. Always the discarded.
Why did you come here?
And why not? This is where I live now. Leave me be.
Will you respect old Bridget's wishes? Will you obey her?
Bridget is kind. She only needs to keep me fed and I'll be good.
So you desire to stay here?
Yes, I'm with my own kind. Birds of a feather, so to speak. Poor Harriet. Always alone.
I have a question of the utmost importance to ask. Will you answer?
Questions, questions, questions. The good doctor, always searching for answers.
Do you remember what you did after leaving the hospital? Did you kill anyone?
First, a question from me. You answer first.
Very well then. What do you want to know?
Are you like me? Are you also dead?
We are not dead, Harriet. Death no longer pertains to us. We are different.
I like what I am. I truly do. I relish the pain that courses through me.
I know you fled the hospital with Sean Hampton. Did you or Sean kill anyone in your flight? Anyone? Try and remember.
I will not lie. I wanted blood, and I wanted revenge, and Sean pulled me from it, brought me here instead. But the shadows heard my prayers. The shadows killed that bastard.
Who was that man? The one murdered in the street?
He used to be my landlord. I lived here for many years before falling ill. Oh, he was an awful man. Disgusting and cruel. So cruel.
You sought vengeance by your own hand, and someone else obliged you. Very convenient. Don't lie to me.
I don't lie. I saw him near the docks, and rightly I wished him dead. And I am happy he is. It's true. But I didn't kill him. I was too tired.
Shadows? Tell me what you saw.
The shadows, they heard me and answered. Something in the deep darkness, quick, deadly. It asked me if I wanted revenge. I answered, yes.
And these shadows, this presence, do you still hear it? Was it a vampire? Did Sean see it?
It spoke only to me, and now it is silent, but it is born of hatred. And it will kill again. And it hates you, Doctor. Oh, it hates you.
What makes you say that?
It whispered your name, Dr. Reed. It wanted to know who you were and where you went.
Questions about me? What did you say?
Nothing, Doctor. I said nothing. There was nothing it didn't already know. Oh, I'm tired now. Let me rest.
Have you found the answers you were looking for, young Ekon?
There is too much left unanswered. So many questions.
Get to know us. Spend time with us. And I may be willing to answer more questions.
Why do you live here? Amongst filth and vermin?
Live. Here we hide.
What are you hiding from?
From the guilt, the shame, from the hunters and the light. And of course, our past.
Why don't you leave the city? Hide somewhere far from the Guard of Priwen. The Ascalon Club.
We are the Sewer Skulls. This is our domain. We have run as far as we can, and now we hide.
Your diction, your words. You do not carry yourself like most Skulls I've encountered.
True. I'm not like most Skulls.
You were once someone else. What happened to you?
It is as sad as it is long, young Ekon, but it will remain mine.
Can I be of service to you?
We ask but one thing. Reveal to no one our secrets. Do not betray us.
For how long have you been in hiding here?
Skulls have been hiding under London since vampires first entered the city.
Where did you hide before the sewers?
We claimed ancient tunnels, forgotten caverns, catacombs. We are Skulls, groveling beneath the feet of our makers.
What manner of creature is Harriet? She is different from everyone else.
I really don't know. I'm not even certain she is a Skull. I've no idea as to what blood made her.
What is a Skull, in fact, in your honest opinion?
The progeny of a vampire, disavowed by her maker. Perhaps a fruitless branch of a noble tree. A word used to enslave us. I cannot say.
You mentioned that vampire blood has tremendous potency. You believe it to be stronger than your own?
The vampire's sweet blood. That rich, dark wine that we crave. For it made us, and it can sustain us.
I thank you for your time, madam. I must go back to Hampton now.
Your kindness has been ample payment, Ekon. To protect us, I'll close the access to our hideout, but you can use our shortcut to reach Mr. Hampton's shelter. Just follow the arrows.
Thank you, old Bridget. I hope we'll meet again.
Old Bridget says you are one to trust. The vampire hunters will never find us here.
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed. Would you like to take communion with me now?
Sean, are you eating raw flesh?
It is the sacred flesh of the mortal lamb. Our Lord's bountiful transmutation for the sustenance of his believers. Thank you, Lord. I am your most humble servant.
So, true to your word, you waited for my return.
I told you, Dr. Reed, I was a man to be trusted. Did you have words with the poor Harriet?
You make no distinction between the living and the skulls, do you?
We are God's children, Dr. Reed, one and all, and he's determined to save us.
What will be the result if you continue to assist both skulls and the living?
For the last decade, that's what's been happening. And they found a better life. What's to change?
You're forgetting the epidemic. Things can go south very quickly. I've seen it.
Oh, these are terrible times. Only those pure of heart shall prevail.
You've turned Skal now. Don't you see the danger to anyone giving you their trust?
We are all sinners, awaiting salvation. This is a simple truth, ordained by the Lord Almighty. I am a seeker of His glorious light.
Does this place belong to you? How can you be so certain you can keep it open?
This warehouse was once property of the Dawson family, but has been bequeathed me through donation.
The Dawsons? The wealthiest family in London? Have they a clue as to what goes on here?
Not at all. The donation was made before the war. The building was run down. I never met Aloysius Dawson myself.
So you have the run of the place and no one's taken notice?
As long as we keep to ourselves, we interest no one. This is a haven, and I pray it remains so for eons to come.
Harriet, Miss Jones has been behaving in a most violent manner. She's going to need special attention.
That's precisely the reason I brought her here. To meet old Bridget. She's the guide Harriet requires.
Who is this old Bridget?
I don't know, Doctor. She rarely speaks of her past, but I know she has a long one. She's likely the oldest soul in the city.
Harriet is possessed by her hatred. You cannot let her roam free. She's dangerous.
She has joined her own kind, Doctor. Old Bridget is a saint to the younger Skals, guiding them to salvation and peaceful existence.
I believe I've learned all I need to know. I'm certain you've killed no one, but one day I believe you'll cross the line.
Logic is a false prophet. Faith is the only path to salvation.
What do you mean?
We have been blessed with God's eternity. We are the instruments of His divine will. We shall feed the hungry forever and ever. Amen.
I haven't the luxury of being able to satisfy my hunger on staunch blood and lifeless flesh.
Give yourself over to God, Doctor. Expel your urges and kneel before the Lord in praise.
These urges. You know the hunger will never be satisfied.
I've come to embrace the everlasting craving. I have sworn to feed only upon the flesh of the dead. It is now my sacrament. Take, eat. This is my body. So saith the Lord.
Discoveries. Vampire blood would enhance your metabolism, perhaps even heal you. If what old Bridget says is true, I'll give you some of mine.
I'd rather not. It would be extremely awkward.
You have no choice, Sean. It's the only way to protect your cheptel, those still amongst the living.
No, Dr. Reed. God made me this way. Who am I to disobey His will?
You believe that God's plan was for you to be abandoned at birth.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
I can't imagine God intended for you to be molested by a priest in an orphanage. Drink, friend.
No!
I said kneel and drink. Now! Another corpse thrown in the streets. Someone's playing a very sick game. I know this brooch. This is my mother's. A birthday gift from father. "29 Pretty Orchard Street." That's near Poplar's district. Why would this man carry off my mother's brooch? I must go there.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reed.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her. Plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness, and her complaints.
That's quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill, but I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reed.
Did you see what happened?
No. I was coming back to the shelter from work when I heard an awful scream, and there was this man, dead, just in front of the building.
You saw nothing at all?
No, I told you, just that awful woman's scream.
A woman scream? Are you sure?
Of course. It was terrifying. I thought it was my sister, so I ran. But it was a man I've never seen round here before.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
You again? What do you want?
Did you see what just happened?
No, I didn't. And I don't care.
Really? Why is that?
Because this sexist pig is one of the 4 men who blacklisted me. Good riddance, if you ask me.
Well, I'll leave. Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Did you see what happened to him?
Actually, yes. He was thrown from the roof like a vulgar log.
Why is it that you sound so afraid?
You didn't see it. He was dead before he hit the ground. The strength required to do such a thing, well, it beggars belief.
Who could have done that?
Who? Well, a vampire, of course. Look, bite marks on the neck and lacerations here. There is definitely a vampire close by.
Goodbye, and good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
Steady, boy! He's not one of them! Burn it, boys! Filthy fucking
"29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me?" There's been a fight here.
Are you deaf? Look lively! There's one of them
Cross all these streets to let her expire.
Let go!
The marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire. Only a golden watch in her pockets. This is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin. Someone is targeting my family. Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out.
I see you.
Right then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter, I might as well win it.
Jonathan.
What was that? I won't let you escape. You're very fast, but I'll catch you. They've all been butchered. I can still sense a presence.
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually, you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I heard that she used to help the refugees, but unfortunately you don't see her around anymore.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.
Matthew. The world...
Help me! You! What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell Scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reed.
Mary.
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital. Cemetery to cemetery. Grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were. In front of me. On a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary. I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reed? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reed, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Say hello to my son for
Mary,
me.
wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel, pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
So that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular. That of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal. Not for our poisonous kiss. Not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good. Slayer! You've burned away Nurse Crane's mind. You're a monster! Kiss me again, sweetie. I'll make you kneel like a dog, just as you did to Sean Hampton! Abomination! Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
Blood. As I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood, via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reed.
Not under my watch, Nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
So many deaths. But still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference? Who will do the work to calm the children?
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away! Whoever you are!
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
Leave me! Return to the shadows and never come back!
But the shadows are our home. And wherever you stand, my son, I stand beside you.
I had to kill Mary!
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to it.
Silence! I dismiss you, now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence! I'm tired of all these puppet shows.
They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment. It's locked. So this is where she lives. What a splendid house.
Dr. Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the circumstances.
Yes. Death and affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I hope I haven't disturbed you.
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strange, this painting. Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him. But I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a painter, my lady.
There are many things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
Please, call me Jonathan.
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan. I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
My sister Mary. She was made a vampire in the same way I was.
She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
In the end, she implored me to put an end to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend. If only we could have guided your poor sister through her terrible nightmare.
I swear I did not intend that. If only I had known then how vampires are created.
That is the scientist speaking. In truth, most of us do not know how it really works. Personally, I make sure my prey will not return to haunt me.
What do you mean?
I am merciless, Jonathan. I only feed on the dying, and I make sure they are dead before leaving their remains.
I came to the conclusion that my maker, whoever he might be, must be a powerful vampire. Certainly extremely old.
How have you reached this conclusion?
He is the only immortal I've seen appear in an ethereal form. His voice, his words seemed ancient. It was disturbing.
I am afraid you are right. The simple fact that your blood made Mary such a strong Ekon proves that you must be of ancient lineage.
I felt this power, radiating like an aura every time he appeared.
Most ancestral vampires of England were killed by the Guard of Priwen half a century ago. I wonder who your maker could be.
You have no idea who he could be?
Some of the ancient ones fled England. Some may still be in hiding. All I know is you, my friend, are a pawn in some secret and obscure game of chess.
I think I should ask the questions, your ladyship. After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the dark nights to come, we shall have all the time in the world to speak, you and I. For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
I must say, your house is exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea?
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course, to your health, Jonathan.
And to yours, my lady.
Please, call me Elizabeth.
So, my lady, why, truly, did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say they influence the destiny of the Empire. Some believe they merely protect it.
How many are they?
Only a small number of powerful and deceitful immortals. All of them entangled in a sticky web of shadow cabinets, influencing trade.
Will they fight the Guard of Priwen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
Why use you to contact me?
Because they know we are close. The Ascalon Club has many spies. Their main occupation is gathering information, and then deciding how to use it.
Have they threatened you in any way?
Not at all. Their message surprised me at first, but it is only logical, considering the critical situation in London.
Why not ask for your help, since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself?
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman. That suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Why meet them then?
Because nothing truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent. They could be powerful allies in this current situation.
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
They have done nothing but impede my investigations since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen their handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave? Who is he?
Lord Redgrave is the founder and chairman of the Ascalon Club. Most mortals know him as the Earl of Bristol. He is rich and extremely influential.
Have you met him?
Only on rare occasions, for he never goes outside the club. And women are not awarded membership, even immortals.
How old is he? How long has he been a vampire?
Lord Redgrave claims to be the progeny of William Marshall, the most valiant knight who ever lived. If that is true, he could be very old.
How powerful is his reach?
The Ascalon Club may be the most influential secret society in England. Not all its members are immortals, but they are all very powerful.
They are not all immortals. How is that?
The club is mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety and expansion of the Empire. The most loyal are awarded immortality.
Any familiar or famous names?
As the richest, most relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite, but we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Prewen has called for a second great hunt of our kind, and they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
Will the Guard of Prewen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Prewen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Ekons I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
I think I saw them kill an Ekon on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an animal again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Prewen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
Why start a second one?
Priwen has always seen us immortals as a threat to mankind. My guess is they suspect one or more of us is the cause of the epidemic.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost my trail.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but I have much to do here. There is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their influence to promote your agenda.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the priority. You must find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve the crisis.
What will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the situation. We need clarity.
Will I ever discover the identity of my maker?
Maybe not, Jonathan. We know for sure you were made by a powerful vampire, but most of those fled England long ago.
Please forgive my bluntness, but I have to ask. Was it you? Did you make me?
Oh, Jonathan. I know you shall always have a gnawing doubt about who made you an immortal, but I swear, I had nothing to do with it.
You have no idea at all? You seem to know so many things about the secrets of the vampire underworld.
Even if I had my suspicions, I would not dare give you a name so soon. All I can say is this. I will make inquiries and keep you informed.
One day soon, I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No. You will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
Will you not visit Pembroke again?
No. I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
When will we meet again?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon. We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Go, my friend. But come back to me soon.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club. That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners. The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need help, sir?
I think I'm fine. But what happened to my jailer? Be careful. He's as vicious as he is strong.
You don't have to worry about him anymore. What happened here?
I am Tadao Kimura. I was imprisoned by this lunatic for several days. I thought I was going to die here.
You're not going to die now, Mr. Kimura. If you hurry, you should be able to get home safely.
It seems that I owe you my life. You have all my gratitude, Dr. Reed, since it is the most precious thing I possess.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura.
Leech spotted! Watch out! Murdering bastards! Watch it! It's a cat! Take a breath of this!
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as...
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Yes, you should. I killed my own sister because of the hunger. There comes a time when a mortal is only seen as blood by a vampire. Whatever the bonds between them.
You can't be Wait. Good one, Dr. Reed. You almost got me.
Glad you found it amusing. But do keep my warning in mind.
I will, Dr. Reed. Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate it.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new battle?
Well, I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should...
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for now.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bancher was no match for him.
Hear, hear, hear!
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of this skull plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Garda Priwen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed. But first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece, figuratively?
I feel perfectly fine. Do I have cause for concern?
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret, shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Complete isolation has proven effective throughout history, but the death toll has always been a high one.
I am glad you understand the concept of necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
You were spying on me?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No. He was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him?
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scowls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Priwen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scowls.
I have met peaceful and wise Skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Lord Redgrave is outside almost every night coordinating our defenses. Such an example.
Lord Redgrave can play with the brave all he wants, but I won't put a foot outside until the pre-went in their hand.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been quite busy these last...
Good evening, old...
I won't lie to you, Johnny.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you have...
Yes? What about the...
Not enough noise for a big family with children.
You need some rest.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
We'll crush!
We have to stop it! Steady, boy! We've got them! Murdering bastard!
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage. This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent. Ah!
I've never seen such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution? So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I am Karina Billow. I don't need any doctor. The rats. Where are the rats?
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones. Their juicy, tiny brains.
Miss Billow, please, try to concentrate. Why do you worry about rats so much?
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Do you feel compelled to obey that voice, Miss Billow? Even if you're loath to submit to it?
Yes. Please. Help.
Tell me about the voice in your head. Who is it? Can you describe it? Is it someone you know? Someone you met?
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me, or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
What is the local news hereabouts, Miss Billow?
Shadows. Shadows hunting shadows. Whispers in the dark. Pestilence. Suffering. Death.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Billow. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm hungry. Need to eat. Have you got something for me? Blood, perhaps? Can you give me blood, Dr. Reed?
Don't you remember who you are, miss? What you did for work?
I was strong, proud. I campaigned for good causes. But that was before. Before. It does not matter anymore. I'm so hungry.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
Infection. Infection. The rats carry it, I heard. Rats. 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 Many rats around that big house. Funny smell, too. Dead flesh.
And where is this house?
West of the park. Not very far. A big house with no sound, no light, no life left.
I must go now. Goodbye.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep. Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
I'm afraid the newspapers are seriously underestimating the situation. Things are critical, believe me.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand?
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
I may have a look at your...
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for?
Are you sure you'll manage to reach the West End by yourself, Mr. Kimura?
Yes, I'm perfectly capable of defending myself when not ambushed.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Are you sure you'll...
Yes.
Goodbye.
You Londoners are no match for me!
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening.
Goodbye.
She's been...
This is despicable.
Cheating bastard! Still your tongue!
So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher. Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school. I cannot enter.
It's one of them!
Christ! He's dead!
Over there!
Please, sir.
Steady, boys!
I can't believe I'm doing this. There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that. It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
For I have been raised through hate, but I offer only
I have this thirst for blood.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. Woe and come to me, my servant! Ha!
I smell your fear.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of She-Hulk, once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? I summon thee, my children of the night. Fight! Maid! Your blood will be mine! Hear and obey, for your queen commands you. Attack! My blade shall pierce your villainous. Your hand is shaking. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she who was once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? Touché, sir. Woe unto thee, son of Babylon!
My blade shall pierce your touche, sir. Ha! Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she whose beauty was once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they share her fate? Woe unto thee, son of Babylon!
I'd head back a easy done. Filthy murderous bastard!
Good evening, Xiaoshu.
Wang Shanghao, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you again.
What are you doing with your time, now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reed. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
Why don't you move?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the...
Why stay?
I am a woman of habit.
How is the sanitary situation evolving?
My only relief is that my...
Goodbye for now. Good evening, Mr.
I can ask you, dear.
I heard what happened to Nurse.
Everything was going well, and...
I regret it too.
So you put an end to the operation?
You seem to have a lot on your chest.
I heard you are a famous...
I didn't use drugs or...
But what happened to her then?
Tell me everything.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor.
Are you not worried for her?
She is as brave as...
Are you in love?
Don't be stupid.
Who is she, really?
She's not from around here, that's all.
You say she has no...
Well, there's that awful...
How do you feel, Mr.
I would not...
Yes,
I said I don't want anything.
Tell me
I do not believe...
What do you...
I'm not sure.
What kind?
Stories all Romanian too.
You believe them?
Yes, I...
Are you living...
And why not?
What about your...
My house is always...
Why...
I remember the night.
How...
Terrible.
That's...
Stop.
There isn't...
You're...
Tell me...
I do not... Who will assist Dorothea helping our comrades?